Hi. Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
And we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Hey, Erd.
What's up, you guys?
How's it going?
I'm going great. How are you going?
I am going really well. I see that you are dressed very much on theme today.
I am. And as soon as I pulled up, I was like, I should have brought my backpack.
You should have brought your backpack.
So,
but we do have this little dude.
I don't know what I was thinking. I also left in a hurry because I was distracted because I was eating dinner and watching Friends. So
that's fair. That's not a bad way to spend an evening.
I wanted to decompress. But we do have Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah. I freed his ears because they're cute.
Oh, episode idea for not this week, but the next week. We could also do that live. Rebuild the Galaxy comes out on September 13th. On Disney Plus for Legos. It is the little Lego movie that takes the whole world of Star Wars and reversed it. We got Jedi Vader, Beach Bomb Blue.
That's where we get
Darth Jar Jar.
Okay, I'm excited about that. Yeah, we got to do that next week.
No, is that on the 13th? So we got some time.
Okay. We can do a live for it though.
But yeah, saying Darth Jar Jar totally made me think about that. But we're gonna also talk about Jar Jar Binks tonight too, right?
Yeah. Because Lisa's got the coolest story to share with you guys, and she is wearing the coolest Jar Jar shirt to be on theme.
Yes. So we all know I have a slight obsession of Star Wars. Jar Jar Binks. Star Wars is very large. Jar Jar Binks, I would also say, is very large.
Yep.
Would you agree with that statement?
I would agree.
Okay. So, this all started several months ago. And what happened was, I'm trying to send you a picture so you can share this eventually.
Okay.
So probably maybe 6 months ago. We're going to go even further back in time. So a while ago, I saw a post on Facebook of a life-size Jar Jar Binks. It was actually in a different state. And I shared it on Facebook. And I was like, ha ha ha, too bad it's not in town local. This would be so cool to have a life-size Jar Jar Binks. And and I think this one was listed on Facebook for $4,000 or something like that. And I was like, ugh.
That's a lot of dollars.
Gross. It wasn't cheap. And I tagged Matt and he's like, oh lordy. He's like, ha 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 ha, that's so funny. And then a couple friends were like, oh, I have a truck you can use to drive out of state. I'm like, this is not gonna happen. I'm not going to go. I think it was in Missouri or Arkansas. Yeah. It was not even close by.
You'd need the truck and a trailer to bring it back kind of thing.
But I didn't. So at that point, I did not know that they have these life-size Jar Jar Binks.
No.
Did you? I had literally
not
no
until
idea.
you found the listing.
And so I dug into it more. These were created during the 1999 Phantom Menace release. There was a Jar Jar Binks and there was an Anakin.
Okay.
I think there was one more, but I only know about the Anakin because Courtney and Josh made a comment on it about how they had little Annie.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yes.
That's really cool.
And so it was made with Pepsi, and they had all these. They had a select few. There was some. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like, why couldn't I have been a little bit older and not in high school when the prequels came out, and I could have just snagged all these cool things.
Oh, I know.
But then I also thought, I don't know if you were this way too. When I was in high school, I hid my love for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it was not cool to be into Star Wars and nerdy things.
In 1999, you got
especially
made fun
as a girl. Yeah,
you got made fun of.
Or quizzed. Yeah. As a girl child Star Wars fan, if you ran into other kids who were Star Wars fans, they would like grill you and quiz you and then yell at you if you didn't know.
I'm not gonna lie, it still sometimes happens
Yeah, it really has
today,
not changed much.
but I do feel like I don't get questioned as much. I will say that you definitely do see the fandom becoming more accepting
Yeah.
of people. There's that small, loud side.
Right.
But in whole, I think we've kind of moved past a lot of that gatekeeping.
I think so too. I think the majority of Star Wars fans are friendly and welcoming and just kind of want to love their franchise.
Talking about
People are loud and loud gets attention.
I have seen, speaking of which, so the Acolyte, it came out in Variety that it's not getting renewed for season 2, but Lucasfilm has not confirmed that.
Oh,
there has not been an official statement.
So there's still hope.
I think it's very, very
small sliver of hope.
But Lucasfilms and Disney has not made an official statement.
Okay.
It was just it was said in Variety. Looks like it's not. And Variety magazine is usually pretty good at reporting stuff.
Okay.
But I have seen so many people on social media come out in the herds of people to defend the actors that were in the show, because there was some issues with that very small selective loud crowd that were not saying very nice things. And so I saw all over especially TikTok. I have the best For You page for TikTok when it comes to Star Wars. It is all positive people of people who love Star Wars. And they're yeah, if you don't like the show, that's fine.
Not everybody is gonna like it all. You don't have to be hateful.
But don't just say, I don't like the actors. Say why. Give me legitimate reasons why you don't like it, and I'll respect it. But it's hard to do that when you just say you don't like the actors, and there's been so many comments made towards the actors.
Right.
Okay,
you don't like them, but why? Have they done terrible things? Do you not like the way they act? Do you think that they are...
Are you just...
Whatever, or are you just being loud?
Made towards the white male. That's been a lot of the big complaint. That is... Okay. The show was too woke, and it wasn't made towards the main demographic of Star Wars, which is older male.
Yeah.
Men.
One thing that I ran across that I thought was a little bit ridiculous. It was kind of okay, this just kind of makes me laugh. I saw a oh my god, I just lost my train of thought.
So while you're trying to think about that, I've seen people defending the show and them coming together and defending the women in the show and the actors in the show and saying we are better than this. We're not repeating the Fandom Menace debacle with Ahmed Best and Little Annie.
We're not doing this all over again.
And even Hayden Christensen, we're not doing this again.
We're better than this. We're better than this.
And so with all of that being said, I do feel like the community is a lot more welcoming.
There's a lot of support, and there's a lot of people kind of either ignoring or yelling down some of the other...
There's been some great yelling down at people.
Yeah. Not mad about that either.
I am here for it. I repost it all the time on my TikTok. I'm okay, yes.
Oh, I thought of it. Okay. So I thought it was a little bit funny, kind of ridiculous in a sad way. Oh, bless your heart kind of sad way. Okay. Because I saw this meme that was talking about how,
is this the one that Phil shared?
I don't think so. It was saying something about lesbian witches, and now they'll be impregnated by the Force magically. And somebody pulling the plug on her and her idea. When it's okay, you don't like the idea that 2 lesbian witches made a couple of children with the Force, but Annie's mom used the Force, right?
No,
she didn't have a dad.
I would say the Force.
Well, she didn't use the Force, but the Force was what created this child. Yes. And so now they're ha-haing at the idea that the Force could have created these twins for the lesbian witches. But it's it's the same thing. Annie was Force created. These children are also Force created.
Well,
but it's it's a type of Force that is different than we've ever had in the show before.
I think part of that goes to Anakin is supposed to be the main argument I heard for that was Anakin is supposed to be this chosen one. He was created in the Force, and they felt like it cheapened the whole being created by the Force and took away from that prophecy that Anakin was supposed to fulfill. So that's where a lot of that came.
I can see how some people might be upset with that.
But it was
But in the context I was seeing was like, okay, Grandma, let's get you back to your nursing home, kind of a.
But even then, there were two different types of creation. Like the Force itself created Anakin, where the witches used magic with the Force to do it. They manipulated it. The Force manipulated his mother.
Itself.
Yeah. So it's two completely different things. But anyway, let's get back to Jar Jar.
Oh yeah, we got as far. The last thing I think was as far as you being like,
the first time I
posted it, and then Courtney and Josh were like, "Oh yeah, we have little Annie."
Okay, so after that post, the original post, like 6 months ago, the out of state one, I was like, this is never going to happen. It was fun to just dream.
Yeah.
But then, like 3 months ago, I saw another posting. And this time, it was local to us in like Tulsa. I was like, oh my God. So I
Thus began the most exciting saga.
So then I share this with on my Facebook again, and I tag Matthew and was like, look, this one's local. Lol. He would go perfectly in our office. And I was not expecting the response I got from Matthew. His first comment was, do you want me to reach out? And I was like,
the greatest.
What? Reach out? I was like, oh my God, he's actually toying with this idea.
Yeah. You're looking at Matt like, you're so hot right now.
I was like, oh my God. And so I was like, so I called him after he commented on there because obviously he wasn't working and I wasn't working because we commented on Facebook. Sorry, work. But so I called him and I was like, are you being serious? Like, are you serious about reaching out to this guy? I'm like, as much as I wanted, like this one was cheaper than the last one.
I mean, this one was like
$3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah. And I was just like, he's like, if you want to reach out, this can be like, because I think this was around our anniversary when the first one came out.
Okay.
Because he was like, we can make it like an anniversary gift. And I was like, okay, but here are some stipulations that I have. Like, I gave him a set price that I said, I do not want us to go over. Mm-hmm. And he started reaching out to this guy. And we kind of lowballed it. Like, we offered a pretty low price. And so Matt was like, well, we were talking, he's like, well, on eBay. Like, Matt loves haggling. He is so good at haggling.
Nice.
He immediately goes to eBay and he starts looking up prices. And he doesn't look at current listings. You can look at previously sold.
Okay.
And you can see what people are selling. So you have a better idea of what it's really like
actually
the value
worth,
market.
Yeah. Okay.
And
what people are willing to pay for it.
Yes. And so he saw all these listings. Well, not all these. There's like 2. So there's not a lot of life size. And so he looked at them and they didn't show the price because if it doesn't show a price, that means they accepted an offer lower than what they posted it.
Okay.
And we were seeing these posted for like $1,750, $2,000. And so Matt...
And they were going for less than that then.
Yeah. Than what the guy was wanting. And the guy was wanting like a few grand.
Yeah.
And so Matt was like, hey, my wife is a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I would love to get this for her as like an anniversary gift. This is like my offer. And the guy was like, dude, that's really low. Matt was like, and so Matt comes at him with all these stats on eBay. And I'm like, so he gets all these stats and he's like, well, he's like, and we're local, so you don't have to worry about shipping. We don't have to set that up. Like, I can literally, like, local as in, like, this guy lived, like, within 20 minutes of us.
Yes.
And so, he's like, I can pick it up. Like, I have a truck that, like, I can literally bring you money today and get this. And the guy was just like, no, I'm going to see, kind of ride this out a little, see if I can get a higher offer. And he was just like, they just kept going back and forth. And he's like, this isn't just, he's like, this is going to go, Matt was like, this is going to go to like a house that loves like Star Wars. And I have like a little Jar Jar Binks shrine in our entryway.
I can verify. I've seen it.
Yeah, Jar Jar.
I thought that I liked Jar Jar, but this girl.
So there's Jar Jar on one side, Boba Fett on the other, and then I have a bookcase of Mandalorian. Like, that's my life. Mandos and Jar Jar. Like, that's what it is.
And that guy was talking about how it was such a sentimental item.
Later. He was
was it later? Okay.
So Matt starts walking around our house and taking pictures of all of our Star Wars stuff and like dedicated, like I have a few, like 3 dedicated bookcases to Star Wars. Like I have artwork up in our bedroom. I have artwork up in our bathroom. It is a Star Wars house.
Yeah.
Despite my husband not liking it.
Yeah. But your husband, Matt, has lots of like Lord of the Rings stuff up there too.
And the guy was like, well, I'll get back to you. And so that was over a period of like a week, Matt trying to convince this guy. Okay. He's like, no. And so then like a month later, he was like, dude, do you want to come up on your price? And then like he kept messaging and Matt was like, he's like, no, my wife has this very like hard, fast price that she will not go over.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm telling you, like it would go to a great home. And the guy's like, oh well, I don't know. And then Matt doesn't hear from him again. So now this is twice. It's like toyed with my emotions. And I'm like, I'm gonna get.
No, I'm not.
And like periodically he would check back with Matt. Like I didn't tell you guys like how many times like he would follow up with Matt.
Just being like, you want to come up any?
Yeah, and like because I didn't want to get my hopes up. Like
I don't blame you. Like
not gonna drop his price. Like it's just like far-fetched dream. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Like I'm not gonna be like completely heartbroken because it is like it's kind of an obscure thing.
Yes. It's not something you would typically just run across in the wild.
No. So then a couple weeks ago, it was Owen was already in school. So we had to he had a doctor's appointment. And at this point I was like, Matt, I've already come into work late a couple times this week because of other school stuff. Can you take him to the doctor? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So then I get back from lunch and Matt calls me. So this is like around like August 15th. So this started in May, June, July, August. 4 months. Okay. 4 months. Like, Matt calls me as I'm pulling into work from lunch. And he's like, hey, Jar Jar. I was like, what? He's like, the guy just messaged me. I was like, please do not be messing with me right now. Because, like, normally he'll shoot text messages. But, like, he called me. Matt does not talk on the phone.
Okay.
He does not call people.
I don't blame you, Matt.
He called me and I was like, Jar Jar? What do we mean, Jar Jar? And he's like, so the guy just messaged me. He's like, are you still interested? I was like, what kind of question is that?
You're like, no, I just suddenly decided that I don't like Jar Jar anymore.
So 4 months it's been on Facebook Market and it's not getting like the guy said he has had hundreds of messages, like kind of just like, oh, cool collector item or just kind of really random things. And I guess we're the only ones who like maybe actually had a conversation about it with him.
Oh wow, okay.
But I don't know. And so he's like, so are you really like hard stuck on this price? And I was talking to Matt, and Matt was messaging this guy on Facebook, and I was like, I'm like, it's sitting there for like 4 months. And Matt was like, you're not wrong. He's like, obviously, the market's really rough on this, especially with this economy.
Right.
Like, and the guy's like, well, it has sentimental value. And Matt, the haggler, who's like, I get it has sentimental value, but that doesn't mean squat to me. But, sorry, but I'm not. He's like, then Matt I think this is what got the guy to sell it to us. Matt was like, actually, I should just drop off another few $100s because nobody's buying it. Like,
Right?
so obviously, and the guy's like, no, I can be there in an hour. It's like, and Matt just he's like, he can be there, and he's like, we're supposed to like take Owen. I'm like, I'll take Owen to the doctors. Like, if this is happening, like, I will leave work. Like, I will go and take Owen to the doctor. And then so Matt's like, okay. He's like, well, I'll see you in a couple hours because I gotta go home, get the kid, go to the doctors, and I get this text message. Let me send it to you in the business chat.
Okay. You want me to share it?
Yeah, I want to show you the text message I got first. So don't share the photo that's in there yet right now.
Okay.
Let me. Oh my god, where is it? Nope, that's not it. A little further back. Yeah, this was right after there we go. Okay. I'm sending you this other one. I have to re-download it. Matt sends me this text message.
You want me to show you this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is Matthew standing in our living room with a giant, and for reference, my husband's 6 feet tall. Like, he's not a short dude. Like, he's tall.
Yeah.
And he is next to Jar Jar Binks in our living room. Staring up at him, and he's like, I'm standing up. This thing's standing up. It is massive. And I squealed. And my child is like, what's going on? I'm like, when we get home, you need to go into the door first. Because Owen doesn't know this is going on.
Okay.
And
okay.
so we get home, and Owen walks in, and I'm like sitting behind him, and he's like, what in the world? Here, let me send you my selfie of it, myself with it too.
Okay.
There we go. This is the photo that I sent you and Dina like immediately, because I was texting you guys during the day. I was like, it's happening, and there was drama at work going on that day.
I know.
I was like, you're like, is this happening?
Anything happening at your? Oh my god!
I sent the text to Kevin. Shout out to Kevin also. Mm-hmm. I said it's happening. He's like, you got Jar Jar.
He knew immediately.
Okay,
but did Kevin know about the weird drama at your job?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so in our defense, that was the last crazy thing we thought might happen.
And I sent a selfie of me with Jar Jar Binks, and I am so ecstatic that he is like in my house.
Look at that.
He's so tall. Like, if you see with the door, like, he's up like at the top of his eyes are at the top of the door.
He's so big.
So it's so great. And so it's at home. I just stand there and I just stare at it for like a solid 15 minutes. Just completely enamored by this thing. This absolutely ridiculous thing. And I'm like,
he's taller than your bookshelf.
It's a 7-foot bookshelf too.
It's amazing.
It's a 7-foot tall bookshelf.
Jar Jar could not have gone to a better home.
So the storage isn't in there. Did I tell you about us trying to get it into our office?
No. And that's what this picture is you guys are seeing right now. It's the office.
So that is in my office. It used to
Look at those
be
feet.
completely like rearranged differently. Like, I had multiple bookshelves on one wall, but we had to figure out a way to get Jar Jar Binks to sit in there, because I couldn't just leave it in the living room. We also wanted to put it somewhere where we could keep the cats away from it.
Sure. Which cat literally in there right now with him.
So it is a one-piece statue. It does not come apart.
Okay.
So the hallway to our bathroom is just a normal standard like hallway. Our home was built in the 80s, so it's not very wide. And we got the office, and then like kind of catty corner is the bathroom, and then we got another turn. Like there's not much room to. When we moved in there, it was kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh,
Like
I
we
bet.
had to do
Yeah.
a lot of like
Moving the beds down that hallway.
especially we have a California king.
Yeah.
So like
Down that
it's
hallway. I
massive.
imagine that would be hard.
So we had to figure out, we had this over 7 foot tall thing. The base is significantly wider than the top. And so it took us like 3 attempts to get in there.
Oh, wow.
Like we had to like reposition. So we had it, and the arms don't, like nothing moves. It just stays in this place where you're standing there like this. And we had, first Matt was like, well, let's go head first. And we couldn't get the head first in because the base kept getting stuck. So then we had to back out and then come back around. And then we had bookshelves that we're trying to avoid getting into there. Like, it was like a maybe 30-minute long process.
Oh, that's
And so,
but worth it.
I
For
was
Jar
like,
Jar.
well, I think if we open up the bathroom door, we can kind of maneuver it, because we also had this problem when we put in the 7 foot tall shelves, because we built them out in the living room, not in the office.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Also, talking about the bookshelves, I had to take everything off of one of the bookshelves to move the bookshelf to put Jar Jar Binks in the corner.
You'd like rearrange your house for Jar Jar.
Yeah, we completely rearranged the office to make Jar Jar. Yes, pivot. I did yell pivot at one point. It was a whole ordeal, and I said,
Oh, that is amazing.
it was like the craziest thing. But now I sit there and I make TikToks with Jar Jar Binks in the background.
And I love it so much.
I need to just start going and dancing up Jar Jar.
Yep.
Do some
Put
crazy.
a little party hat on him.
Yeah, so I was thinking Halloween, maybe put on the cloak.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
pointing
For Darth. I know. I'm like, what?
the cloak. You're like,
For Christmas, you could have a little Santa hat, maybe.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
But so now it sits in the office, and Matt, we have our computers in the office, and where Matt sits and where the video camera was, he was on Discord with some friends, and they were video chatting while playing video games. And one of the guys goes, "Is that a Jar Jar Binks behind you?" That's like, yes, it is life size, and it is over 7 feet tall.
That is bananas. And he haggled with this guy for months.
Yeah.
Like,
4 months.
good job, Matthew. That is
4
gold
months.
freaking stuff.
I told Matt I'm not gonna ask for anything else. I did tell him, I'm like, I do have some books on pre-order that I already pre-bought. So he's like, okay, are you sure you just pre-ordered? I'm like, yes, I bought this stuff before. I don't need anything else.
Like, happy
I-
anniversary, birthday, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, Christmas, all of that is wrapped into this. I'm like,
Like,
that is
fair.
fine.
Yep.
That is fine, because Jar Jar Binks is
Oh.
like,
So worth it. Because there is
Amazing.
a life-size Jar Jar Binks in your house.
there is.
And it's amazing.
It's like the
Yeah.
most obscure thing. Like,
It's
what is
the
the
best.
most obscure thing you have?
Oh.
I'd say you've got some weird stuff. But yeah, that's my like obscure thing. That's like one of those like, ooh, drinking games, like never have I ever type thing.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yep.
never have I ever bought a life size Jar Jar.
Yeah, actually, got it.
I used to have a bunch of those like banked in my pocket for when I was in college. One of my go-tos also was I Danced with Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I love it so much. That is amazing.
Like that was my like main
It's
go-to.
cool. Like, did he come to your school or something? Or
So no, funny story. Bill Nye the Science Guy. So you know how he did
probably a
dancing with
laser.
the, huh?
Probably a laser. The laser's probably the
Yeah.
weirdest. Maybe not obscure, but it's probably the weirdest thing I own is a laser.
And not many people have lasers.
I have a. Oh, that is a little bit obscure. I have a sign in my window that says prayer room, and it's got a Jedi on it. That's probably the most obscure thing that I have.
But okay, Bill Nye.
Yes.
He
Okay. Bill Nye.
actually- So you know how he was on Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Well, before that, he's always been in the dancing scene.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he swing dancing. Like that was his thing.
You
in
swing
Pasadena.
danced with.
Yeah. So he would always go to what was it called? It wasn't Memories. It wasn't the Lindy. Was it the Lindy Grove? No. Yeah, Lindy Grove. Because Atomic was in Orange County, Lindy Grove. Was it Lindy Grove? Anyway, it's in Pasadena.
Okay.
And he would be there every week.
I love that.
Swing dancing. And I got to dance with him once. And I was like, this is so cool.
That is the coolest thing.
I was like, I can't nerd out right now. Like, I'm just going to dance.
The swing dance was so
It
nice.
was okay. But like,
Was he nice?
he was always very like,
Did he tell you any cool science stuff while you were dancing?
No, because when you dance, you're there focusing on it.
Sure.
It's like, so think of like an old sock hop. So I used to go to swing dancing clubs every week.
Yeah?
Every week.
I didn't even know that was a thing that existed.
Yes, and sometimes multiple times a week. Like I had my
Okay.
like swing dancing crew, like, and hung out with the Bobby Sox Brigade, and I hung out with this group. But what we would do, like, so think of like the dances you would see in like the 40s and 50s. Like
Yeah,
you
okay.
literally you have your dance floor, and then people hanging on around the edges. And it was very much like the guys would walk up, ask you to dance, and you would dance with them, and then you'd be done. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
and you see all these people just dancing
that's
around
so
the floor.
fun.
And
I love
so,
to dance.
and you don't necessarily just stand there and you talk with people, because when you're swing dancing, like you are swing dancing.
Okay.
It is like legit. Like we were doing Balboa, we were doing Charleston, we were doing
Do you have any
Lindy.
like pictures of you or videos from when you? That'd be so much fun to see.
Possibly I could have try to find my my old drive, but
Yeah. It'd be so much fun to see.
I used
I'd love
to
to.
like swing dance.
Love
I used to sometimes help my friend teach,
Yeah.
like basic.
That's so much
like,
fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Matt, yeah.
Yeah?
Matt knows how the basic moves too. He was not a dancer.
Yeah.
That's all right. I still love him, but like,
It's cool that we mention this a lot about both like Matt and Eric. Both of our partners are so supportive
Yeah.
in the things that like they don't care about that we do. They are still like, man, I hope you love it and I'll support you.
yeah. Matt has always been like that from the time we
Yeah.
started dating. Like he went to the clubs with me a few times, especially like one of the ones that I'd go to pretty regularly was in Whittier, and that was where he actually grew up.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. And so he met me there a couple of times, and then we used to go to this place called the Phoenix Club. There's Atomic, Memories, Lindy Groove, the Phoenix Club. So we had like 4 different
Nice.
things. We
Yeah.
used to do like Lindy Bomb, take stereos and just dance in like different courtyards. We do that every once in a while in downtown Disney. Yeah, it was
So fun.
it was like a lifetime ago.
I'm so annoyed that like I was a little kid in California and a teenager in Oklahoma.
Sorry.
Blech.
Being a teenager in California was like the funnest thing ever.
I can't imagine.
And college student, like,
Ugh, I was
It was-
also I did have like the best college experience ever, and I went here, but man,
yeah.
being a teenager in Oklahoma was not fun, especially when I'm still like halfway in touch with like some of my friends from out there, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go to
taste it.
this pasture party and get drunk in a field, have fun going to Disney without me.
Yeah, it was a very different like
Yep.
lifestyle than Oklahoma, but you
That's
know,
okay.
it makes for a lot of like fun memories. Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel bad that Owen's not gonna have like all these.
Owen's gonna have the same kind of teenage years that I did.
Yeah, I don't
Hopefully
know.
less crazy.
I don't know. We'll see. Who knows what it's gonna be like in like 3 years?
Hopefully he'll get into less shit than I did.
You know, he's so funny. He really wants to do like video, like editing and recording. Like he wants to do the behind the scenes,
Yeah.
the film crew. And
Nice.
so like he has this whole like path that he wants to follow in like
I love
middle
it.
school and high school and be part of like the people who film like the sports stuff. And so
Oh,
I
I
don't
love it.
think
That's
if
so
he
cool.
does stuff like that, maybe he'll kind of
Yeah,
it'll
he's gonna
keep
keep him
him-
too busy probably to
yeah. And
be
so,
drunk in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're hired whenever you know enough.
so he's all excited about that, like learning
Owen
how to
can be
do.
our cameraman.
Come on, Owen,
Yeah.
follow us around. But yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, Jar Jar.
This was
It's so
fun.
great.
Yeah.
It just I just wanted to share this saga.
I'm so
'cause
glad we
you
did.
only like seen bits and pieces of
Yep,
it.
just
so-
like some messages here and there. I had no idea that it went on that
Yeah.
long
yeah, it
and that
started-
often.
Yeah, they like every few weeks like touch base back and forth.
That's
like,
pretty great.
And I'm pretty sure the guy stalked my Instagram and made a comment because I like shared a reel,
Oh,
like best day ever, and the guy's like, I hope he likes his new home. Tear face.
Yep, that's the dude.
It's like, yeah.
But he's gonna be so well taken
yeah,
care
he's on a pedestal, and
Yeah.
like it's so great. Like,
of. He's
and he's-
very likely never ever going to have another home.
no,
I figured Jar Jar will go in Denise's will.
he'll be buried with me.
There we go.
Actually, I don't want to be buried. I want to be turned into like fertilizer.
Yeah,
like, grow.
Something green.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I want like a green burial or green. Donate me to science or take whatever you can possibly use. And
I'm definitely want to be a donor. I am a donor.
Yeah, me too.
And then you can make like fertilizer with dead bodies.
Mhm.
Could you?
You can donate your.
Peppered shirt face like Aunt Cheryl. Holy
Be like, how many times did you bite Aunt Cheryl while she was alive? To know what she thinks.
I don't know. Maybe it's a little salty.
A little bit. Salty old lady, salty peppers. You can also donate your body to like body farms and science and be able to help them study like levels of decomposition in
Yeah.
different stages and environments and things, help solve crimes. There's so many cool things you can do if you're, of course, unalive.
But that took a
Yeah,
dark
I know.
twist.
Yep. Well, anyway, 2 questions for you guys. What's the strangest, most obscure thing that you have in your house? And what do you want done with your corpse when you're not using it anymore?
So we're gonna wrap that up. I
Yep.
hope you guys enjoyed story time. Fun.
It was good.
It was good. So I guess from our galaxy to yours,
May the force be with you.
always. Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo designed by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peak. From our galaxy to yours,
May the force be with you.
always.